I want to know if you are feeling wealthy, if you're rich. Don't you want to know how you compare to your peers and their thoughts? Well, that's what Charles Schwab put together. They surveyed quite a few people. I think it was 1,000 people here to figure out, how many 1,000 adults completed the survey to figure out how people think about money and what's important to them and all of those things. So I think I'm going to just go through this with you. To be honest with you, some of it's quite interesting, and I think maybe depends on what your thoughts are, but I'm wondering who they're surveying on a few of these things. So you got 1,000 adults, Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, and boomers. So not sure where you fall in that. And let me know in the comments which one pertains to you when you're leaving the comment, if you don't mind, because I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this and if it pertains to you or it doesn't at all. And, if you're a millennial or you're a boomer or whatever the case is, wherever you fall on the spectrum there. All right. And so Americans say you need 2.2 million per these 1,000 people to be wealthy in 23. Americans who feel wealthy have a much lower actual net worth. So you need 2.2, but of the people surveyed, 48% of Americans feel wealthy, but average net worth of those who feel wealthy, $560,000. And so that right there just tells me, okay, so there's a little bit of a break here if you need 2.2 million to be wealthy, but then they're saying they feel wealthy. Do you feel wealthy? If you're not, if you're open to it, share your net worth and, share your age demographic or your, what do they call that thing there? I don't even know what you call it. So what do you call it? What's it called? Net worth? No, not the net worth. The millennials, what do you call those things? Millennial, boomer, your name? Your phrase, what is it? So all right. So you got millennials are most likely to feel wealthy. 48% feel wealthy. Are you a millennial? Do you feel wealthy? Average net worth of those who feel wealthy, $560,000. What we talked about there. 40% of boomers feel wealthy. So just to give you an idea. When describing wealth in your own words, more Americans reference well-being over money and assets. That's interesting to see, especially in today's day and age. 2020 happened. We saw a lot of people go work from home. People quit jobs. People looked at things a lot different. Some people had people close to them pass away and realized, hey, well-being is more important to me than money. Still, it's not a big difference there, but yeah. I mean, look at that freedom way down there. Giving, luxury, achievement goals. So interesting to see those. Americans generally choose non-financial assets when asked to choose which better describes wealth. Having a fulfilling personal life is the top one. Working on my career. I mean, absolutely. Who wants to, who wants to just work all the time? If you break it down here, Americans feeling that having time is more important than having money. This one's interesting. If you look here, the leader on that 60% is boomers. They always, sometimes you talk to older people and maybe you're like, they don't really know what's going on anymore in today's age, but I think they're onto something. With this here, the boomers, 67% know that having more time is more important than money. So maybe we should look at them for that. Having money right there, 33% of boomers said that was more important. About a third of Americans have a documented financial plan, and those who have one feel more in control of their finances. There's your sales pitch for the day, folks. Whether it be for Jazz, Wealth, or somebody else creating this survey. Now, but if you look here, I mean, you do feel more confident based on the 1,000 people that they have surveyed. 35% have determined their financial goals and documented a formal plan, and 92% feel confident they'll reach their financial goals with a plan. Versus only 40% over here without a plan. So, you got to figure out something. Put some pen to paper, at least. Here's some interesting stats. So, a lot of people, 44% feel they don't have enough to need a plan. I disagree with this completely. I want to know what your thoughts are, but as a planner, I'm not trying to sell you something on this plan. I mean, with us, if you work with us, we can help you and just kind of map out numbers. But the idea here is really just to know your numbers, at least knowing, what your expenses are or what they'll look like possibly in retirement years based on what you're spending today, what your lifestyle will be. Then figure out, how much you already have saved, figure out how much more you need to save to get to where you want to be. That's a basic plan right there. It doesn't have to be ultra complex. Don't feel that you need to do anything too crazy. Look here, seems too complicated to create a plan. It's not at all. So don't feel that way. Americans value their relationships with family and friends, but feel how they compare to family and friends impacts how wealthy they feel. So this was an interesting one because just the other day I went with my wife with a friend, and we went to a local golf course resort club membership thing, and they had a pool. I'm not a member of it. I'm not the, I'm that's not my style. But for this person, they invited us. We went. We had a good time. Kids played at the pool, and I get to talking with her, and she's doing very well for herself. And I'm like, man, kind of made me like, I need to step my game up a little bit more because it's funny, and they always talk about who you kind of circling yourself around with the right people. You look around the closest 10 people to you, that's your circle there. And I mean, I'm not telling you to kick people away, but it is interesting because the people that you're around, if you're around wealthy people and you're not wealthy, it's going to make you either step your game up or you're probably not going to hang out with them because you won't feel well about yourself. So being able to afford a similar lifestyle as my friends makes me feel wealthy. Now, looking over here, you can see boomers. That's not the case. And I think this is a tell-all on being careful, though, as Gen Z and millennials and even Gen X, because there's the whole keep up with the Joneses. And there is danger with that because as a planner and as an advisor and, working and seeing people's full number, oftentimes the people who are out blowing the money on the fancy cars aren't really making the money. That's just simple facts. So just realize that. Don't feel bad just because you may not have everything. Remember to go up to the top here and remind yourself of the survey, where is it right here? Having time is more important. Having a fulfilling personal life. It's not always about money. So there's a lot to learn in this survey. All right, let's wrap this thing up for you, though. So as far as everything else goes, Americans use social media to see how others around them are doing, but also use it for financial advice. That's not a bad thing. Just be careful. Just be careful. Listen to fiduciaries. There's other YouTube financial people out there that really know what they're talking about. A couple of them that I'd say to run from. And so just be careful because there could be sales pitches. There could be things that are out there just focusing on that. And here's the demographic snapshot. So this is the one that I think is really interesting. This is what I really want you to tell me in the comments. All right, how crazy is this? Or is it legit? Males 46, females 53%. Gen Z was 13, 34% millennials. They had the most there. So as far as everything goes, income, 93,000, median 68,000, but investable assets, 361,000 was the mean, 75,000 was the median. So it's interesting to me, the ranges here that we're looking at. Your average incomes, I don't know. I mean, it depends on where you live, I think, is where this comes from. And we don't really know where these people are living. So look at that, think through it. It's just some cool stuff to think through and really start to think about your money. But ultimately, take away from this that come up with your number, know your number, have some sort of plan. If you're looking for a planner, we'd be happy to help. jazzwealth.com. Check us out.